Welcome back to the reigning and defending Tuesday Night League here on VEINOTTE'S TV, the returning RBR Maritime group for the JPB Construction 150 here at New Smyrna Speedway. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr., your host, co-host, as it were, producer, all that good stuff. Tim Terry in the booth alongside me here doing some single car qualifying. Number 84 car Lewis Mason out on the track currently and putting down his lap time to try and qualify himself into this field. Tim Terry, how we doing tonight?
Yeah, so far so good. Getting ready to see some time trials, and I believe this 84 car should be on lap number 2, so he'll come by this time. And this is single car qualifying. It's not what we're used to seeing with most of the leagues that we cover here on VEINOTTE'S TV. You're going to see all the qualifying laps. That is lap number 2 at an 18:06, puts Lewis Mason P1 at a 17:88. Brad Hayes should be next up, car 17, and he is staged on pit road, the Sammy Kaiser Automotive, Roma Brothers Racing, number 17, as he gets ready to roll.
Slowly making his way down towards the exit of pit road. First time we've done single car qualifying here on VEINOTTE'S TV. Very excited to check that out and see how it works out here with the RBR Maritime group. Pretty excited to have these guys back as well here, Tim. Another 6-race season. All the same faces, all the same sponsors, and a couple of new sponsors jumping on board as well. We've got Brett Suggs is going to be sponsoring the pole award, $10 to each pole winner throughout the season, which is very, very cool. And we've got the VEINOTTE'S Truck and Auto Pole Challenge Award as well. That's going to be offered up to the first top 5 qualifiers throughout the field. Basically, you got to start in the back, win the race, and you get $15. And we actually heard from Owen Mahar that may very well be doubled here this evening, as we can see Brad Hayes in the 17 car coming around for that white flag lap.
Yeah, lap number 1 going to come up for Brad Hayes, and actually it's not going to be a lap. He must have hit the wall, must have negated his time. I'm going to correct you, though. It looks like, according to Owen Marr and Nathan Blackburn, they put that $15 pole challenge up to $50. So it's Owen Marr, Nathan Blackburn, and VEINOTTE'S Truck and Auto putting that on tonight. And I was told that if it doesn't go tonight, it rolls over to next week. So we'll see what happens. Brad Hayes, no time. He must have hit the wall or something of some sort to negate his time. I believe Yep, that's it. That's it for him. The 67 will be next up on the grid. That'll be Wade Craswell as Craswell gets ready to get his staging to go. And Paul, this is the first time we've covered something like this before, but the last time I got to cover something like this was an event you're familiar with too, the Landon Castle Qualifying Challenge. So race director or race organizer Craig Tully had told me that there's no games per se when we come to this. You stage on pit road 2 cars before. You roll out on the racetrack. There's no burnouts and none of the fancy tricks that you can use to get out there when you're called. You go out and do your lap. You don't sit for any longer or what have you. We saw that this year with Ryan Luza losing about $10,000 by not listening to the race control to tell him when to go. So far so good through 3 cars. Obviously, Brad Hayes had the misstep in his qualifying lap. This will be the white flag for Wade Craswell. A little loose set of 4, and it'll come up to a 17:70. That'll put him P1 so far.
Looks like he's going to try and make a second lap here. And as I was watching the 67 pull out of Wade Craswell, you may very well have seen the last car go through there, the 17. May have seen him not exit pit road correctly. He may very well have just not entered on the backstretch, but lap getting round up here. Looks like about the same, 17.7 within a couple of hundredths there. So 67 car currently sitting on the pole.
Yeah, good call with that coming out of pit road the wrong way. The 78 of John Fitzpatrick is on the racetrack. A Jim Hallahan 333 winner earlier this month, so he started off 2021 fairly sharp and looking to pick up the opening win for the Roma Brothers Racing JPM Construction 150 lap number 1, top of the board at a 17:67. That'll put him P1 so far, and into the wall at a turn 2, and that will probably negate his run as he'll bring it down. Well, he's going to complete the lap at least.
shutting her down at that point. Sitting in the pole so far, 675, 17-second point, 675. So great lap for John Fitzpatrick, fast pretty much everywhere that he goes. And we're seeing a couple of cars down at the end of pit road. You can see the 52 of Nicholas Mott getting ready to head on out onto the racetrack. And there he goes, fires it off. And you can see he's going to hold it right down on the line there. So that may very well what happened to our second qualifier there. You can see that blue line in the backstretch. In order for your qualifying lap to count, you have to stay on the apron until that cone. So really cutting down on the driver's ability to gain any kind of time by jumping up on the track too early.
The same thing you see at like a Daytona or a Talladega. If you're accustomed to this iRacing sim, you have to make sure that you exit pit road safely. And with the new rules or newer rules here at New Smyrna, it looks like that black flag will be cleared. So not sure if that will mean Brad Hayes will get another run or not. But lap number 1, it comes up at a 17.94. That puts Nick Mott in position number 4. The driver from New Brunswick will round to corners number 3 and 4, come up to the checkered flag here. He'll need about 0.3 of a second if he wants the pole position. He won't get it. He will gain 1 position, though, at a 17.83. Puts Nick Mott position number 3 so far through 5 cars. And Paul, after that run, the 19 is going to go to position number 1, but he's going to have a bent-up race car. After lap number 2, Derek Gates is currently quick, but he's these guys are going to have to throw something at him. 17.61.
Yeah, the microphones work a lot better when you don't hit that little mute button there.
That's kind of why I was thinking. I didn't know what you were saying. I'm sure it sounded great, though.
Oh, absolutely sounded great. I always sound good. But we can see Travis Roma, the number 38 car, pulling out on track. A great lap there, one and done there for Derek Gates in the 19. And you can see the 38, Travis Roma, kind of warming the tires up just a little bit as he comes down to the green flag. And he's going to see what he can do with that RBR yellow and black Killer Bee looking paint scheme there.
Yeah, the classic Roma Brothers Racing car, similar to what he runs on his late model Sportsman entry at Scotia Speed World, former Shriners Classic champion. Going to come up at a corner number 4, lap number 1, going to come up for the 38, and he is going to go, it's a 17.6, top of the board, 17.60 to Derek Gates' 17.61, so Travis Roma currently P number 1, and we'll see if he can better that time at this time by across the stripe. Travis Roma clocks in at a 65, so slower on lap number 2, but currently at 38. At the top of the board, Taylor Layton will be next up on the grid in the 27.
Time's getting quicker and quicker as these laps move on here. You got to wonder, that's a good-looking paint scheme there for the number 27 of Taylor Layton. And speaking of good paint schemes, Brett Suggs, BSRM, Brett Suggs Racing Management sponsoring the pole award here, $10 to the fastest qualifier. And actually, got to thank Brett. He painted up a super late model in a truck and a tour mod for me with the Vidane TV logos and the Rays Energy Drink logos, and did the whole chrome effect, so that was pretty cool, and I definitely appreciate that. And it's some good stuff, and you got to go check out Brett's stream as well. But lap 1 on the board here for Taylor Layton, the number 27, going to be a 17.678. It's going to put him 4th quick. Looks like he's going to try one more lap here, Tim.
Well, he doesn't have one more lap, so I'm not sure what exactly he's doing here, but this is probably not going to make the race officials happy, and it's not going to count anyway because he hit the wall. So the 27, currently P4. Mike Rhino on the racetrack now in car number 34, the driver from Lawrencetown, Nova Scotia. Going to be on the clock this time for his first of 2 laps that count, so we'll see what Rhino can do as he goes through corners number 1 and 2. Always a threat when it comes to these short tracks on iRacing. He'll round 3 and 4. Middle groove around there, kind of diamonds it off at a turn number 4. Gets close to that wall, and it'll come up at a time of 17.67. Puts Mike Rhino position number 3. So needs just a little bit more to get up to the top of the board. Just
looking at the times now, we've got Travis Roma up top with a 17.6. 6:10 for Derek Gates and a 6:74 for Mike Rhino. So very, very quick times here so far for the first eight qualifiers, and within the top five, or the top five rather, within a tenth of a second so far. So really close qualifying times here throughout the first couple of qualifying cars. We got 26 cars making the show here tonight, so it's going to be a close field here, I think, Tim.
Looks like we're going to give the 17 one more opportunity to get out here after the unsafe pit exit black flag. That is Brad Hayes, the Thunder Car competitor from Scotia Speed World. He'll come by this time. His lap record on lap number 1 will be a 17:74. That'll put him position number 7 in the Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing pole qualifying time trials, as you will. The R. Kaiser's number 17 will come by through 3 and 4, hugs that inside line through 3 and 4. And he will come up on lap number 2 at a 17:78, slower on lap number 2. We'll put him P7 so far of the 9 that have taken time so far. Danny Vitch is on the clock.
Here comes the number 29 car coming out of pit road, and he's going to be the 10th car to take time, it looks like here. And you can take a look at that 29 machine, a good contender for the Xander Sign best looking car, $20 as voted by Facebook likes. We're going to have that over on the Verdane TV Facebook page after race number 5. We'll have a poll set up for some of the best looking paint schemes here in the RBR Maritime iRacing group, and Xander Signs jumping on board with the best looking car award. And again, that's going to be $20 to the winner as voted on by you, the fans.
So Danny will come by and put a 17:77 on the board. So that'll put the DVS Electric number 29 to position at number 8 after his qualifying run. The next up on the racetrack will be Craig Tully in the Roma Brothers Racing R. Kaiser's Auto Clinic number 5 as he rolls down the back straightaway. He'll be on the clock this time by.
The big boss man, main league official here for the RBR Maritime iRacing group, taking that green flag, shooting her on down into 1, and we'll be curious to see where Craig Tully qualifies that number 5 late model, and usually runs pretty good, keeps themselves pretty clean throughout the race, and excited to be working with Craig here again for the 3rd season in a row here on Verdane TV, and we can already see that they are planning a 4th season with this group, and they'll be opening up some registrations for that. But taking a quick look, Craig Tully up to P3 with a 17:631.
He'll come by this time and take the checkered flag, and it'll come up at a 17:67. That'll put him position at number 3. Do not see the 2 car was scheduled next on the qualifying docket. That is Todd Cousins, so he has missed his qualifying time. Roger Down is on the racetrack in the RJ Millett and Sons Williams Seafood number 21. The driver from Minto on the clock right now as he rounds corner number 4. He'll come up to the white flag this time by. Down will come in at a 17:69, puts him position number 7. And we saw this with the LCQC. I'm assuming it's the same here with this racetrack because we are on the iRacing service, Paul. This thing continues to rubber up, so theoretically the track will slow down a little bit with the rubber being laid down on it. 17:77, the slower of 2 lap times for Roger Down, still position number 7, so maybe something to watch as well as we continue on in this qualifying session. And the next one up on the racetrack right now should be the Sheriff. The 98 is Kyle Gammon.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, Tim, these drivers basically picked, they didn't technically pick the qualifying order. It's the slowest drivers in practice went out first in qualifying, and vice versa. The quick guys in practice got to start, or will be starting qualifying in the back. So you got to wonder if that's going to flip-flop the speeding times as the track slows down just a little bit. You can see a 17:707 for the Sheriff, Kyle Gammon. I don't believe that was an official lap. We'll have to double-check on that. And it was, but it's a little bit quicker this time by 6:56. That's going to put him P4.
So Kyle Gammon moves to P4, and realistically, it should slow down a little bit, but when we look at guys like Tanton Woolridge, Ashton Tucker, Matthew Barkhouse, Mike Alexander, and Brett Suggs himself that are going to go later on in this session, those guys know how to put the hammer down, and they're going to be near the front of the field by this one's all said and done. 17:67 for Conrad Murphy, going to put him position number 5. The Rookie of the Year in the mini stocks at Speedway Miramichi in 2020 is getting ready to see the checkered flag on his run. The driver from the North Shore will come by and collect that checkered flag at a 17:63. First driver that we've seen in a while, Paul, that has bettered his time on lap number 2. Going to put Mr. Murphy in position number 4 as we roll the Port City Race Cars number 42 of Mark Williams.
Moving right along, looks like 15 cars have taken a time, 14 cars. 15th car is going to be Mark Williams here in the number 42. And coming out of turn number 4, we're going to take the white flag lap and see where all he's scored. It's going to put him all the way at the top of the board. The first driver to break that 0.5 of a second, a 17.593 for Mark Williams, and a good clean second lap here. We'll see if he's a little bit quicker or if he slows down like most of the drivers have been doing. Crosses the line, the 42, brings the little bit slower that time, a 6:10, but 5:93, 17 seconds, 5:93, definitely a good lap for the 42 machine.
We'll see what Nathan Blackburn can do now in car number 44, the Bricon Construction LBT Pallets number 44 from Timberley. Will come by this time and take the white flag. Looked like he might have had a little bobble over there in corner number 4, and it shows on the time, 17:74. Puts him position number 13. We'll see his teammate Nicholas Noggle come up in about 4 cars or so. The 44, though, will get ready to take the checkered flag here, trying to better his time at a 74. Will he do so? Absolutely. It'll go to a 72. Paul, not a whole lot with 2 100ths. It'll put him to position number 12 as we get ready to roll Caden Tufts.
Caden Tufts, another good-looking late model there, the number 88 machine, and he's going to come out and see what all he can do for a qualifying lap here, and just about halfway through the field as far as qualifying goes, so pretty excited about that. We've got the halfway leader award is brought to you by the Royal Volts. You actually heard them at the beginning of the broadcast. They sing the King of the Road theme there, so thank you to them, and be able to check them out on Facebook, Spotify, all that good stuff, and pretty much anywhere you can find music. So we want to thank those guys for jumping on again here for Season 3 of the RBR Maritime iRacing Group. They're also sponsoring the Lap 65 leader. That's going to be another $10 as well.
Caden Tufts goes to 4th at a 17.61 in the Randy Jackson HVAC LBT Pallets number 88. Dave Cassidy on the racetrack in car number 13 of the White Lightning Auto Center, Big Cam Fabrication, Clattenburg Racing Fabrication, number 13. Lap number 1 is a 17.75, puts Dave to position number 15. So wants to better that just a little bit, move himself up a little bit closer to the front of the grid. The driver from Miramichi, New Brunswick, in corner number 4, comes up out of corner number 4, slide at a 4, and it's going to come up at an 83. So I think, Paul, that would have been a little bit better if it wasn't for that slide at a 4, but Dave Cassidy will currently be 15th. And it's great to see this guy back on the racetrack, the Robbies Towing, Waterfield Racing. Number 3, Ronnie McKay from Sydney, Nova Scotia on the clock.
Good looking number 3 car there. As you can see, he's coming into 3 and 4. Gonna see what he can do here with the other 18 drivers that have put up a lap time, and crosses the stripe for lap number 1 of 2 laps that are given. And you can see right there, it's a 6:43. That's going to put him in 7th currently. He wants to try and better that just a little bit. You can see he keeps his foot in it and heads down into 3 and 4. See if he can better that first lap time of the second one here. Comes out of 4, nice clean lap, and crosses the stripe. That time by going to be a 17.580. Move him up to P1. Ronald McKay, your current pole sitter.
So Ronnie McKay currently leads the Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing time trials, and on the racetrack now, a driver no stranger to New Smyrna Speedway, a World Series winner last February, the Bricon Construction Mobile 108. It's Nicholas Noggle, comes up at a corner number 4, lap number 1. Yes, sir, 17.52, top of the board for the 08 car. He'll try to get one more lap in here, and mighty quicker than the other drivers that we have here, about 600ths. Topping Ronnie McKay. But we'll see what Noggle can put up on the board on lap number 2, and I think he might. No, he didn't scrape the wall. It's going to count it a 17.51, so he betters lap number 2. Noggle to the top of the board.
That's going to be the time to beat, and the time to beat may very well get beaten by this guy. Another new paint scheme for the number 75 of Magic Mike Alexander. Good-looking car there. Another contender for the Xander Siden's best-looking car, and he's going to come out at 3 and 4, try and cross that stripe, see where he lines up. A little bit of a bobble there. You think he might very well run that second lap just because, and you can see he crosses the line. 17.643, currently 9th on the board. Going to keep that hammer in it and head down to 3 and 4. Try and get a good, clean apex. You can see right there on the apron. Good, clean corner. Nice chrome car looking across the hood of that car and down in the skirts of it, but crosses the stripe. Going to be a 5:09 new pole sitter, Mike Alexander.
And you see how close these drivers are getting to the wall as Brett Suggs now on the clock, and he will start his qualifying lap trying to take his money back for the Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing Pole Award. But you see how close these guys are getting to the wall, Paul. You and I both know with this iRacing service, if you hit the wall, it negates your qualifying time. Brett Suggs, lap number 1. He's going to want a little more than that, 17:73. And on the back straightaway, may have scraped the wall. If he didn't, he came mighty close. Doesn't want to negate that lap, especially with a 17th quick lap so far. Check your flag survey says 17:54, P3 for Brett Suggs. It's not the pole, but it's pretty darn close to the front of this field, as the next driver up on the racetrack will be car number 30, Keith McClellan. Has come close the last couple of weeks here, Paul, to winning a race on Bedane TV when it comes to the TCM Weekly iRacing Series, but he likes New Smyrna, loves Smyrna. Would have won a SK race here last year on some of the short track stuff, but just came up a little close. P3, lap number 1 at a 17:53. The driver from Sydney, going to round corners number 3 and 4, and we'll see what he gets on lap number 2. Is it quicker? Yes, indeed it is. Top of the board at a 48:17.481. Top of the board for Keith McClellan.
Blistering lap time for the Bud Light machine. Very cool to see Keith McClellan, first driver to break the 0.4 second. You can see the other Roma, the other Roma brother, Chris Roma, in the number 83 car, the Royal Volts machine, coming out of 3 and 4, taking the white flag lap, and we'll see where he ends up. That may very well be the green flag lap, and I'm losing myself here in the timing and scoring. Nope, that's going to be the white flag lap. New pole sitter already, 4:35 for Chris Roma. Going to take that second lap, head on down to 3 and 4, and you can tell that car just looks fast. He's running a little bit higher than a lot of the other drivers by a lane or two, so I wonder if that's got something to do with it. Second lap on the board, a bit slower, a 9:93, but new pole sitter Chris Roma with a 17:435.
Do not see the 15 on the racetrack at Matthew Barkhouse. He was scheduled to go next, so that will be big if he has to start at the back of the field. This is the 2 car, and we've seen him win a couple of races on Bedane so far this season. Ashton Tucker, lap number 1, and he's going to go to position number 3 at a 17:486. Ashton's been fairly good at these qualifying sessions. The White Lightning Auto Center, Big Cam Fabrication, Mike's Bar and Grill, Baisley's, Brad Silliker Motorsports, number 2, checkered flag at a 50:17.50. So lap number 1 will be the lap of record. It's P3, and now on the racetrack, our final qualifier for the evening is Tanton Woolridge, as the Woolley Motorsports McKinnon Brothers Service Center, number 56, is on the clock.
Another good-looking super late model here, and waiting to see what lap number 1 is going to be for the 56. A little bit loose coming out of turn number 4, but he hangs on to it. 47.3, check that, 17.622 beginning of the night. That was a quick time, but that's going to put him P12. You can see he takes that second lap. Again, he's running about a lane a little bit higher there on the second lap in 3 and 4. Comes right up by that wall, and that's going to give him a 6:29, so almost an identical lap as the first one. Very consistent, but not fast enough for the pole. A good mid-spot, mid-section there, and we're taking a look. It looks like Matthew Barkhouse is going to make the call on the number 15.
No, he's not, because they advanced the session. He was late to his qualifying time, so he will start at the back.
Well, that's going to put him P27 on the board, so pretty cool little deal. We got some single car qualifying for the very first time here on Bedane TV, and it's cool to see the JPB Construction 150 here at New Smyrna Speedway be the guinea pig for that. I think it went off pretty well there, Tim.
Yeah, some people like time trials, some people don't. It's more intense, I think, Paul, being in the race car as a race car driver than being outside. But great to see. Only a couple of drivers missed their time to qualify. Matthew Barkhouse and Todd Cousins will start at the back. We are going to wait to see if anybody takes the Vino's Truck and Auto, Owen Marr, Nathan Blackburn pole challenge. Now, it's different this year, Paul. Craig Tully was telling us before we went with qualifying that in order to collect that money, the driver has to start at the back and has to win the race. So if Chris Roma elects to take that challenge, he'll move the Royal Volts number 83 to the back. If not, it'll go to Keith Mack. If not, it'll go to Ashton Tucker, Mike Alexander, Nicholas Noggle, in that order. Only one driver can accept it. And we were told too, Paul, and this is the kind of caveat. There's 6 races in this series. If it's not taken tonight and not won tonight, it rolls over to next week, and I believe we would add another $15 to that. And it looks like Ashton Tucker has taken that challenge, so Ashton will go to the back of the field, take the end of the longest line penalty. So a driver no stranger to passing cars here the last few weeks on Vidane TV is going to do it again. He's going to start back in 27th-ish.
Absolutely, and if he doesn't come back and win, like you said, Tim, it's going to roll right over into next week and gives these drivers an opportunity for a little bit of coin. And still some sponsorship opportunities available with Vidane TV and the RBR Maritime Group. If you wanted to jump in and maybe add a couple of bucks to the Pole Award Challenge, or maybe sponsor a couple of laps, or anything that you wanted to do to maybe get your logo out there, your brand out there, and let some of the most brand loyal fans out there, racing fans, sim racing fans as a whole, see your brand and really kind of advertise your services or products or whatever it may be, definitely give us a shout on the Vidane TV Facebook page, or reach out to the RBR Maritime Group directly. But lots of sponsorship opportunities available, and lots of different ways you can get your brand and your logo out in front of the masses.
And it looks like we're getting ready to go, and there's a few drivers sitting in their pit boxes. A few drivers have elected to start at the back of this race, and Ashton Tucker, obviously with the pole challenge, will be the first driver to start at the back. But you're going to see the Chris Roma and Keith McClellan machines lead this thing to green, and going to move the inside lineup where Ashton Tucker would have started in third. So Nicholas Noggle going to start in third alongside the 75 of Mike Alexander, and then that 5th place spot going to pull in and belong to, I believe that is the 3 of Ronnie McKay. So field has formed down the back straightaway, getting ready for the first of 150 laps in this race. Race number 1 of 6 for the RBR Maritime League, and we are not going this time. Yellow flag has flown, so we'll go one more lap. How about that?
Gives these drivers a little bit of opportunity to kind of pull the, well, not really pull the belts tight, but make sure the steering wheel's nice and tight on the desk, and make sure the pedals are underneath them, and make sure their psyche's right, make sure their head is in the game, in the simulation, as it were. And we've got 150 miles here, 150 laps at New Smyrna, so pretty excited here to have, again, season number 3 of the RBR Maritime iRacing Group. New Smyrna, Lemire, Nashville Fairgrounds, Las Vegas Bullring, Richmond Raceway, and closing out the deal February 23rd at Five Flags Speedway. It's pretty cool to see. The pace car is going to make that hard left turn. Green flag is out, 150 laps on the board. Here we go.
Down into corner number 1. Everybody looks pretty good so far. Keith Mack, little push off of corner number 2. Alexander stuck the nose in there, but Nicholas Noggle will be the one looking to the inside as he'll look to take position number 2 away. Chris Roma will lead lap number 1. Top 3 single file. Brett Suggs goes to work to the inside of the R&R Kinsman Auto Salvage number 75. Side by side for 4.
Wasting no time, that 33 car trying to get low on Mike Alexander, knowing that Mike is very quick here and pretty much everywhere that he drives one of these super late models. There you can see the 38 Travis Roma machine a little bit loose. Loses just a little bit of track position there, and behind him he's about to get eaten up by both Kyle Gammon and Craig Tully, who are side by side for 8th.
Side by side for that position as they work at a corner number 4. The number 42 of Williams back there as well, Conrad Murphy, and there's the 21 of Roger Down going to the inside. They'll go side by side for that spot.
Takes the position, takes the number 13 of Dave Cassidy with him, moves him up, and there you can see the 42 of Mark Williams trying to make the outside work, but not able to hold that car straight, not able to hold it down. The back end getting just a little bit wobbly on him, so he's going to fall back behind the number 13 car. He's going to fall into the clutches, it looks like, of Mike Rhino and Matthew Barkhouse, who are right there with him. There you can see Matthew Barkhouse moving his way already up into the 15th position, missed his qualifying attempt. Already halfway through this field here, Tim.
Yeah, working very quickly. There's your pole challenge recipient from Vino's Truck and Auto, Ashton Tucker, right in behind. So they are quickly working their way through top 14 or so, or single file, back to this battle between Tucker and Mike Rhino.
Singles back up all the way throughout the field, it looks like. We can see a few more cars back. There's Tanton Woolridge there in the number 56. He is trying to get around Derek Gates in the number 19. He's going to shoot on down low, get to his bumper, but not quite clear him. He's going to stay down there, try and get a little bit of momentum coming out of turn number 4. He may very well have it here on 1 and 2 here, Tim.
Trying to go to the inside, Tanton Woolridge always quick, and going to make up some more positions. Makes that one up on Gates, and Caden Tuff's going to try to follow him through. Top 10 or so still single file, but this track rubbers up. You can run too wide here. It just takes a little bit of time, and why push the issue? We're only on lap number 9 of 150. There are your top 3. It's led by Chris Roma in the 83.
Roma, McClellan, and Noggle, the top 3 currently in a single file line. Brett Suggs currently 3rd, and there you can see Mike Alexander in the 5th position. Check that. Right behind him, Ronnie McKay in the number 3 car, Travis Roma, Kyle Gammon, Craig Tully, and Conrad Murphy, currently the top 10.
Still plenty of laps to run here this evening as the field works through. First side-by-side battle is Tanton Woolridge, and I believe that might be Mike Rhino back there as they get that solidified. And it looks like for the most part here, Paul, wait for your driver in front of you to make a mistake and kind of open up that hole. At least in the top 10 or so, it's still early. Plenty of time to make a mistake. And it looks like almost one there by your leader as Chris Roma got the apron in turn number 2. And Keith Mack all over the 83 for that spot now.
Closing right into the back bumper. You can almost hold a piece of paper in between those 2 cars without it dropping to the ground. But you can see Chris Roma shoots on down low, and Keith McLeod a little bit higher line there. And it looks like he apexes just a little bit later. And it's you can see really closes up on him, outbreaks him here in the corners. But the 83 pulls off, coming off of the corner, and really able to put some distance in between him and the second place car, the number 30.
So your top 3 under a blanket, about 4 car lengths back to the next battle, which would be 4th and 5th, led by Brett Suggs, and then Mike Alexander in behind. And looking through this field, Paul, everybody right now single file back to about Brad Hayes in the 17, and I think he's running about 22nd right now. So everybody's found a place to race right now as we work through lap number 15 of 150. And Chris Roma doing a great job up in front. The Royal Volts leading the way. But he might have some company here in the next couple laps because Nicholas Noggle knocking on the door of Keith McClellan for position number 2.
You can see it right there on screen. The 8 machine, the 08, all over the back bumper, the number 30 Bud Light machine, and really closes up in the center of the corner. And you can see he's a little bit faster coming off the corners as well. So Noggle doing a great job, kind of keeping his distance just a little bit, but letting the 30 know that he's there. He's there, and he's ready to pounce all over that second position. And it looks like the 08 is definitely a little bit quicker right now. You can see he's right there on that yellow line, and he's pretty much following in the tire tracks. Like you said, Tim, he's waiting for him to make a mistake.
And you don't want to be that one to make a mistake, especially here early. It's not like some of the other racetracks in this iRacing service with this Super as you ride on board with Noggle looking up at those top 2. You can make some passes here. You can kind of hang on the outside line for a couple laps and try to make it a race, but you don't really want to use the tires up, especially early in this one. They've only got 1 set of tires sitting in the pits, and track position is key, but maybe not as key as some other racetracks. We see Matthew Barkhouse and Ashton Tucker back there about mid-pack. They started near the back of the pack and working their way up, and they actually have a battle in front of them. It looks like the 13 of Dave Cassidy, the 21 of Roger Down, and here comes Matthew Barkhouse, and Barkhouse just was able to open that door to the inside. The 21 left the door open, and now Barkhouse going to get to the inside and try to pick up one and bring along Stewie with him.
Yeah, we're seeing a 2-car move in on the clears the bumper just a bit. Well, almost contact, but not quite between the 21 and the 2 there of Ashton Tucker. But great heads-up driving there. Tucker's going to clear him, and you can see Roger Downs dips back down to the 14th position, and behind him, Tanton Woolridge trying to make something happen in the number 56 machine. All over the back bumper of the 21, trying his best to make up a position, kind of move his way up towards the pack, working lap number 22 of 150.
Continuing to work around here, clean and green so far, and a lot of these drivers know each other, whether it's through the TCM races, doing some official races, being at the racetrack. Trouble at turn number 4. It's, I believe, Craswell around, and that will draw the first caution flag of the evening. The 67, I believe it could be. Indeed it is. parked in victory lane at the wrong time. It's only lap number 24. Yellow flag flies for the first time.
Yeah, still got a little bit of work to do before you can call it party time. Wade Craswell pointed in the wrong direction and had a little bit of damage on that car from an earlier incident. Didn't bring out any cautions or anything like that, but definitely probably affecting the racing or the handling of that race car. But we're going to pull up the very first Raise Energy Drink instant replay here. Take a quick peek and see what happened to the number 67 Wade Craswell. There you can see on your screen the 67 up high, and it looks like he gets a little bit of a bumpski there from the number 44 as he does. Little bit of a lazy spin. Oh, right up into Danny Vitch. The Fitzpatrick machine gets a spot piece of it as well. Almost a lazy flip there in victory lane, but he's able to gather it back up, grabs a gear, and gets on rolling again. So some damage on that 67 machine for sure. He's going to go down at least one lap as he tries to get some of the virtual sheet metal banged out on that particular race car, and that's going to leave 26 cars still on the lead lap here, Tim.
It's going to bring some drivers down into pit road, but most of those drivers were at the back of the pack. It'll be Roma leading this lap, so 25 laps have been completed in this 150 lapper presented by JPB Construction. Mentioned that little caveat, that little bonus by the Royal Bolts around that halfway point, so hopefully Chris can get that and pick up some money for the or out of the sponsor's pocket, I guess we can call it. But he's got some tough competition behind him. I'm interested to see on this restart what Nicholas Noggle can do. Sitting in position number 3, had a quick race car, and knows this racetrack like the back of his hand. He's been doing a lot of sim racing since the pandemic started, and obviously with his real-world exploits, he's been doing well as well. Picked up a win at Riverside International Speedway in 2020, and started off 2020 pre-pandemic with a win at the real New Smyrna Speedway during the World Series. So Noggle sitting in third. We'll see what he can do here on this restart with just over 100 laps to go.
Yeah, Noggle was one of those drivers that ran with us on Verdane TV when we did the World Series of e-racing, when we paired up with New Smyrna, as well with the weekly racing series that we did with them. Shout out to Ryan Stevens, who helped us out in a big way, who was down there calling all the action at New Smyrna Speedway. So that was definitely a cool experience. And we can see the lights are off of the iRacing Mustang pace car, lining them up 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 all the way throughout this field. It's going to be the 83 Chris Roma down low, Keith McClellan and the number 30 Bud Light machine up on the top side.
Yeah, we'll get ready to see the green flag for the first restart of this event this evening as we complete lap number 28. Chris Roma has led since the drop of the green flag, and we'll see what he can do on this restart. Pace car in, a green flag in the hand, and we are underway once again. And keep an eye on that battle for a second. Keith McClellan is clear if he can get down, but Nicholas Noggle just barely shoves that nose in the door, and we'll battle now for position number 3. Matt gets a great run off of corner number 2.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Keith McClellan needs to get that hammer down and move as quickly as he can up towards the front. Nick Noggle is coming, but right now he's under fire from the outside. The number 33, Brett Suggs, trying to make something happen up there on that high line.
Down the back straightaway, top 6 or so are single file for the time being. It's Travis Roma, Craig Tully for position number 7. And look at this pack. Conrad Murphy is there. And Matthew Barkhouse trying to get his way to the front of this field. Works to the inside. Oh, contact. Roma half sideways. He saves it. And Dave Cassidy's not. And he's going to get into Barkhouse. Caution flag will fly.
Saw it happen live on your screen there. Hornet's nest of race cars. Usually... Yes.
Keep on the 15 because they're still wrecking up the road. Look at this.
That they are. Goodness gracious. Holy moly. All right, so we'll back this up into the Raise Energy Drink Instant Replay. Repsports.com. Use promo code VEINOTTE'S. Get yourself 15% off. They got the energy drinks, the pre-workout powder. They got the protein stuff. They got the melatonin sleep aids, which work very, very well, which is pretty fantastic. But we'll take a look at the Raise Energy Instant Replay. We're going to focus on the 15 car first because he was in this gaggle of cars here. You can see Dave Cassidy, Conrad Murphy, Craig Tully, and Roma there. You can see Roma gets a little bit of a tap from the 89, sends him on around. The 89 now spins all the way around and noses the 15. And then we're going to try and take a look. You can see Roma, again, gets a little bit pointed in the wrong direction, and that looks like, I believe that's Travis Roma in the 38. We'll back it up one more time because it looks like he almost had that car collected a couple of times. There you can see he gets a shot from the 89. 89 spins on around, and you can see the 38 gets it moving again. Another shot there from the 42 of Mark Williams, and he sends him around. Mike Rhino involved. There you can see the 27 car of Taylor Layton involved as well. Wade Craswell, 67. He's got caught up in a little bit more damage on that car as well. So tough break for a lot of these guys towards the middle of the back of the pack here, Tim.
Yeah, but they'll get down on pit road, get some damage repaired to those race cars, and see what they can salvage for the remaining of this JPB Construction 150. So another quick caution puts us back, and you could see the way they were racing, the intensity of that little pack. You could almost anticipate something was going to go wrong, but now they'll re-rack them, restack them, and see where everybody will fan out and slot in. But some great racing. Dave Cassidy, Craig Tully within the top 10. Great runs for them so far, but they've got some hungry competitors behind him. Ashton Tucker is moved through the field. Tanton Woolridge. Roger Down is there as well. The 21 he's been kind of quiet, but he's always there at the end of those races. We talked about the weekly series that we're going to see tomorrow night here on Vidane TV. Top 10 in points for Roger Down in that number 21 car. So he's got plenty to race for here in the season opener for the RBR series. Could be a threat for a championship if something, everything goes his way.
Absolutely, Tim, and just want to give a quick shout out to everybody that's out there in the internet land that's watching along on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch as well. We're streaming the Twitch to Strictly 94, my personal account, but we've got the Vidane TV YouTube account, Vidane TV Facebook page, and Tim's Corner Motorsports Facebook page as well. Also want to give a quick shout out to John84 Adams over there on Twitch, who's watching the stream as he and his fiance Alyssa are doing some digging on iRacing. So appreciate the support from everybody out there. Pace cars off. Lights, the green flag's in the air. Great start there by Chris Roma. Shoot him out of a cannon, 2x2 behind him. Nick Noggle down low. Mike Alexander trying to move on. Holy moly with the racing up towards the front.
Noggle got the start that he wanted the last time, as Keith McClellan on the outside going to fall to position number 3. But if we do get a quick caution, he'll have that inside line. Ashton Tucker, Craig Tully battling it out here for about 7th place or so. They've got a couple of quick cars to the outside. Ronnie McKay just behind this battle right there on your screen. There's Dave Cassidy. Two of the Mayor Machiers going side by side for a spot. But Ashton Tucker is on the move. That is your full challenge car presented by Vino's Truck and Auto. He's looking to pick up some quick cash here tonight. $50 on the line if he can win this thing.
He wants his money, Tim, and he's going to do everything that he can to get it. Moving up past the boss man, Craig Tully, into the 7th position. Caution out on the speedway. Mike Rhino involved, 52 involved, Roma's involved, handful of car. Wade Craswell, he got a little bit more damage on that race car. See if we can pull up the Rays Energy Drink instant replay, find out what went down there, Tim.
Yeah, a few cars getting tangled up at the back. I think Matthew Barkow stopped to avoid that one, so no further damage to that race car. But middle of the pack, Paul, a bunch of cars going for position. What happened here?
Just pulling up the replay. It looks like we can see it here. I can see it here. I'm just pulling up the replay. We can hit the right button here. We're going to focus in on the 38 and the 89 here because these two drivers were involved in it. You can see the 52 checks up. It actually looks like it happens in front of them. There you can see the 27 was off pace already. Let's see which cars are involved. There you can see Mike Rhino was involved. So we'll back the old instant replay up one more time. There you can see big-time damage on the number 34 of Mike Rhino. And it looks like he got a little bit of a tap. Aha! There it is. We knew we'd find it one way or another. John Fitzpatrick and the number 78 and the 84 machine of... Help me out here, Tim. 84 machine of Lewis Mason. Haven't talked about him too much here tonight, but you can see a couple of drivers fighting for the same piece of real estate. Fitzpatrick gets low, gives him a little bit of a shot ski, and Mike Rhino shoots up high to try and avoid it, and unfortunately there's nowhere to go there. A couple of drivers fighting for the same piece of real estate. Here's a little bit better view. Danny Vitch gets a piece of it as well as he gets clobbered into the wall, and Conrad Murphy does a great job. He just points that thing to the inside wall, skates the back tires around, and does a great job avoiding that. So a lot of damage for some of these cars. Matthew Barkhouse, there you see him. He came to a stop. He's got some damage from an earlier happening here, but still going to be 25 cars on the lead lap after this restart here, Tim.
And it's going to change the front row just a little bit. Noggle going to now line up on the outside, and we've seen how this outside line can work. If you can get that launch off of the corner, you might be better off. Nicholas Noggle knows this place better than anybody, so if anybody's going to get the lead away from Chris Roma, who's led since the drop of the green flag, you better believe it's going to be that 08 car to the outside. Keith Mack going to line up third, Mike Alexander fourth, and fifth is going to belong to Brett Suggs, the sponsor of the pole award this season for the RBR Maritime League, and a sponsor tomorrow night's race coming up here on Vidane TV. Some exciting racing coming up. Now, you said before that John and his lady are on Twitch tonight, right?
Yes, they are.
You said they're doing the wheeling.
They are doing some wheeling.
Who is doing the wheeling? Because I've seen her get on iRacing too.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
They are passing the wheel back and forth, so it's very entertaining. If you got a couple of beers to spare and some time, I would definitely recommend checking them out over on Twitch, twitch.tv/John84Adams. I promise you'll be entertained, just like we're entertained right now. Green flag in the air, Roma and Noggle side by side coming out of turn number 2. Give the advantage to Noggle.
Noggle pinching that 83 down, but that's what you have to do to get that lead on the outside. And Noggle, and a little contact, and there go the leaders. Alexander to the outside, and he's going to get door slammed. Here goes the 08 back to the inside. Somehow we didn't wreck about 18 cars. Roma away with the lead, and I don't think we're done.
Oh, we're not done yet. The 30 car backing up. It looks like, Tim, I think everybody's gathered it back up. Holy moly. That just gives you the opportunity to see the caliber of drivers here in the RBR Maritime group, especially some of these Tim's Corner Motorsports drivers as well. Bumper cars at 100 miles an hour. Everybody gathers it back up. No harm, no foul, and everybody gets about a lap and a half, maybe 2 laps to kind of catch their breath and figure out what the heck that was. But up front, it's still going to be Chris Roma, Brett Suggs, your new P2 driver.
Yeah, Brett Suggs and Ashton Tucker were the 2 drivers that really got away gaining out of that thing, because Brett Suggs, Ashton Tucker, I don't think they have any damage related to that incident, but they are going to go into position 2 and position 4 respectively. Nicholas Noggle, the car still looks relatively clean. A little bit of cosmetic damage to the left front, and a little bit of cosmetic to the Mobile 1 VEINOTTE'S Construction 08, but maintains position number 3 out of all that. And the 75 of Alexander in position number 5. I was about to say Keith Mack might have been the beneficiary of that, because he was kind of caught sleeping on that, but he tried to make that move and fell back to position number 6 out of all that. But the good news is all these drivers still have a clean race car, per se, minus a couple of cosmetic damages to these race cars. They've got a car that can still contend for the win, and for the most part, I think everybody's caught their collective breath, and now we can get down to racing. We'll see what Nicholas Noggle has for Brett Suggs as they battle on for position number 2. That would have been kind of neat to see from Brett's point of view on his stream. I'll have to go back and look at that.
Yeah, for sure. Another streamer in his own right. He's on almost every night. He's streaming his iRacing adventures, so be sure to check him out on Facebook. I believe he streams right under the Brett Suggs Racing Marketing page, so be able to check that out and see some of the cool things that you're able to do on iRacing. You can see the 84 looks like he pulls down pit road. Lewis Mason gets some service on that race car, but still up front, single file. Chris Roma, Brett Suggs, Nicholas Noggle, Ashton Tucker, and Mike Alexander, the top 5.
And these drivers have got single file for the most part. Ashton Tucker, look at that thing cut at a corner number 4. Looks to the inside of Nicholas Noggle down the front straightaway. Nothing going to happen there as they continue to go single file, but Ashton looked like he had that little bit of a run out of the corner, just couldn't put it to the inside to make it work. Field single file all the way back through the field. See Tanton Woolrich starting to make a move back here around position number 8 or so. Ronnie McKay in the 3 right ahead of him, and the 13, I believe, at Dave Cassidy. Great run for the 13 car, still up here in the top 10. So for the most part, everybody's kind of picked their place and has a place to race right now.
Yeah, single file all the way throughout the field. You can see Ashton Tucker trying to capitalize on that pole award at $50 for being the first driver to take that pole award, start in the back, and if he wins this race, comes home with a cool $50 bill. If not, that rolls right into next week's challenge as well. So pretty cool little deal that they got going on in the RBR Maritime. A little bit different than the last season, but still able to make a little bit of money for these drivers. And you know, these drivers are out here during pandemic times entertaining the masses here on Verdane TV. So if you wanted to try and reward some of these drivers yourselves, again, shoot us a message over on the Verdane TV Facebook page and let us know if you wanted to sponsor the RBR Maritime group. Any contingency awards or anything that you see should be awarded here, because that's what our goal is here at Verdane TV. We want to entertain the masses. So we can't do that without these drivers, and it's always good to shoot these drivers just a little bit of extra coin in their pocket, maybe some beer money. Speaking of beer money, you can see Keith McClellan gathered his thoughts back up, currently running in a P6, trying to close into the back bumper there, the number 75, Mike Alexander.
Looks like Mike Rhino has called it an evening. Lewis Mason going to return to the racetrack. You'll see the 84 here as we come by 1 and 2 coming back onto the racing surface areas right there as the field will roll by. For the most part, though, it looks like we're in that kind of point of the race. It's a long race, 150 laps, a long way around here. It's now that time to maybe pick your battles and ride. I think the only battle that we see right now on the racetrack, Paul, is outside the top 10. Travis Roma, the 38, leads it up. You got Nathan Blackburn, you got Derek Gates, Brad Hayes. I think that's Tanton Woolridge back there as well, potentially battling it out for a spot as they continue on through 3 and 4. But entertaining battle as this field continues to click off the laps.
And we're 3 laps away from the lap 65 leader, the Royal Volts Award. They're going to shoot $10 to the driver that's leading their race here on lap 65. Can Chris Roma hold on to it, or is Brett Suggs or Nick Noggle going to try and get around and maybe get a couple of bucks stolen away there? But we've seen that 83 machine lead almost all of the laps here tonight, Tim, so I don't think he's going to have too much of a challenge. You can see there's still 3 or 4 car lengths between he and Brett Suggs in that second position, so going to be coming across the stripe here to lap 65, and we'll see who's going to get that $10 from the Royal Volts.
And Brett Suggs is his satellite teammate for RBR, so I don't think he's going to push the issue a whole lot. I think Brett's got the bigger picture in mind as we complete lap number 64. And for the most part, it looks like these drivers have kind of got comfortable in their positions at this point. Ashton Tucker has a challenge from behind, but that lap 65 bonus presented by the Royal Volts is going to go to the Royal Volts number 83 of Chris Roma. He leads lap number 65. So 3 cars up in front, 1, 2, 3, and then about 2 lengths back to the battle for 4th with Ashton Tucker, Mike Alexander, and Keith Mack. And then everybody else still fighting for positions here as we come by and complete lap number 66 in this JPB Construction 150, the season opener, as Roma gets a little bit sideways in front of the leader. Suggs lets him collect it, but Noggle all over his back bumper now.
And there you see it, 3 cars battling for that top position. Slide that cool, crisp $10 bill into the pocket of Chris Roma, courtesy of the Royal Volts, for leading at lap 65 here for the very first race of the 3rd season here of the RBR Maritime Group. You see Noggle hit the wall just a little bit. Doesn't seem to slow him down as he's able to close right into the back bumper of the 33 of Brett Suggs. Loses a little bit of position there coming off the corners, but a couple of different driving styles, it looks like, between the 33 and the 08.
They continue to race under the green flag. Challenge for position number 5, though. Here comes Keith Mack to the inside of Mike Alexander. Keith McClellan going to move to position number 5, and Alexander falls back to position number 6 as we continue to work here on lap number 70 of 150. Nicholas Noggle trying to close in on Brett Suggs, and Suggs keeping his RBR teammate honest up in front as the 83 will lead one more.
Throw a blanket over the top 3, and you can see single file, bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper. And Noggle just backs up just a little bit, but again, he gets a great run heading into the corner, outbraking Suggs and Roma, but again, loses just a little bit of position there on corner exit. There you can see Brett Suggs dipping on down low. He's tired of running that P2 position. He wants to lead, gets all the way up to the door of Chris Roma. They're going to head into turn number 3. It's going to be tough to call who's going to come out on top. Brett Suggs all the way down on that apron, and you can see still bumper to bumper. Doesn't have enough to clear him. He's still going to take another shot at him all the way down to the apron. Almost touches the door there, Tim. not quite enough to get around him. We're going to head into turn number 3, try it one more again, and he just doesn't seem like he's quite got a much. Are we going to see a slide job? Not quite. Cross the line, give the lap to Brett Suggs, but they're still door-to-door heading into turn number 1.
Roma had a bommel out of corner number 4 that last time, allowed Suggs to get a little bit of the run, but the run out of 2 going to go to Roma. They're going to come by this time to complete lap number 74. If I'm Nicholas Noggle, I'm licking my chops right now. The Achilles heel for the 83 on the outside has been right here at turn number 4. He's going to lose it to Brett Suggs, and now Noggle goes to the inside, almost door slams the 83. They'll run by the back straightaway this time. They'll come by this time and see the cross flags. Halfway home this time on the front straightaway, and the halfway lap going to go to Brett Suggs.
Taking a couple of dollars home there for the halfway leader. Brett Suggs moving into P1, Roma back to P2, and Nick Noggle still in 3rd. And there you can see Ashton Tucker, the pole challenger, if you will, started in the, I believe, 3rd position, maybe 4th position. Ended up starting the race in the back of the pack, worked his way all the way through all that traffic, and currently running in the P4 position. So very cool to see that. There you can see Keith McClellan in the number 30 Bud Light machine in 5th, and Mike Alexander, Magic Mike as it were, running 6th.
You know, the driver that's on the move right now is outside of this battle for what would be a top 7 position. Dave Cassidy right at the end. Tanton Woolridge is reeling in this field, the 56 car, running in position number 8. Reeling these top 7 in. We saw it last week when Vidane went to the Oxford Plains Speedway for the TCM race. He started at the back very early, or got to the back very early, and worked his way back up to the front, just ran out of laps. We're halfway through this race now, and I think Woolridge, if this continues, the pace continues the way it does, we might see that 56 battling up here as Dave Cassidy in front of them goes to the inside of Alexander, the 75 car falling off here a little bit.
Yeah, and it's really the advantage right now to the 56 of Tanton Woolridge. He's got nobody behind him, nobody really in front of him. There you can see kind of starting to close in on the back of the number 75, Mike Alexander, who's backing up just a little bit. But it gives Tanton a little bit of an opportunity to try to see where his car's a little bit stronger. He's able to see which line everybody in front of him is running, obviously because he's close enough to see that. But not having to worry about any kind of battles or anything like that right now, just kind of driving his own race. And you can see he's really gaining some ground on this lead pack of cars here, Tim.
And as you ride on board with Tanton Woolridge, you're able to roll into the corner as you want to. If you're Keith McClellan up there with Ashton Tucker, you can't roll into the corner really where you want to, because you might end up running over the guy in front of you. You see Mike Alexander going high, Tanton Woolridge going down low. Something amiss with the 75 car of Alexander. Maybe he used his tires up a little too quick. Uncharacteristic of the 75 car. They do have one set of tires sitting in the pits though, Paul, so if we do get a caution, we're at that second point of this race, or the second half of this race, you might see them come down. And just looking at the back here, there's some drivers, Paul, that are working on a caution, and I hate to bring out the league admin, but the 5 of Craig Tully, Ronald McKay, and Kyle Gammon are putting on one hell of a show back here.
Pulling it up right now. There you can see, the 3 car gets into the back of the 5, sends them a little bit sideways, and everybody's going to have to try and check up. It looks like they do. Craig Tully scrapes the wall. There you can see Travis Roma and the number 38 machine. He gets on by, and big-time damage in the right front of that car, the number 5 of Craig Tully, the boss man here of the RBR Maritime group. One hell of a show, putting on some 3 cars going for the same position. You can't really physically hold that same position, so somebody's got to give, and it looks like it's going to be the 5 car slipping on back to that P17 position.
Had my eye on that for about 10 laps or so, Paul. That was brewing. Ronnie McKay and Kyle Gammon were going at it, trying to figure out who wanted to run in that spot, and ended up being Craig Tully on the wrong side of the inch, and actually the 3 of Ronnie McKay, the 98 of Gammon, still at it for that spot. Gammon was able to get to the left rear quarter of the Robbie's Towing number 3, but just could not make the move because it gets so tight here, especially off the corner. You can run too wide, but it gets really tight coming off that corner from the inside if you really want to make that run out.
Yeah, you can see the 3 of McKay and Gammon, the 98, battling each other, and they're getting a little bit of a peak there from the number 78, an uncharacteristic run. Oh, the 98 on the wall just a little bit gathers it back up. That's going to give the position over to John Fitzpatrick. I was going to say, 78 car, usually see him up front. Uncharacteristic to see him running for the 12th position, but there you can see it moves in past the number 98. He's going to set his sights in on number 3 of Ronald McKay.
Oh, Noggle around at a 4. He saves it, and everybody going to go by on the outside. The 08 car.
Oh, Dave Cassidy.
Yeah, no, he had a mistake at a turn number 4, was to the back bumper, glued to Chris Roma's back bumper, and just made one small little misstep. No harm, no foul, no contact from anybody, but he's going to fall outside the top 5.
See, we can take a quick green flag, a Raise energy drink, instant replay, find out what happened to the 08 machine. And there you can see he was trying to get on the back and gets a little bit of a shot there, it looks like maybe from Ashton Tucker, who's going to move into the 3rd position. And Dave Cassidy, there you saw it, the 13 does a great job of wowing that car up and making sure he doesn't get himself involved in any kind of wreck. And back green flag racing here still. Tanton Woolridge moves past the 08 as well. So that's going to slip Noggle back to the 6th position.
And you look at how close that pack was running. Chris Roma had kind of backed that pack up from second on back. Brett Suggs had got away by over a half second, but now it looks like Roma has reeled him back in and has pulled away from the little bobble that we had there for about 3rd on back. Ashton Tucker, Keith McClellan, Tanton Woolridge are now your top 5 behind Brett Suggs, as we'll come by and complete 93 laps this time by. And everybody single file except for that 5 car back there, Craig Tully, trying to make up some ground that he lost a little bit earlier. Derek Gates to the inside.
Closing in on 50 laps to go, and still Brett Suggs and Chris Roma up front. Ashton Tucker moved his way into the 3rd position. Keith back there, Daddy Mac P4, and the battle right now is for 5th. Well, it was for 5th. Noggle has it, and Tanton Woolridge wants it. Dave Cassidy trying to make himself a player in this top 5 battle as well. There you see him in the number 13 machine, just kind of biding his time, looking down low in the Tanton Woolridge machine, trying to get around him, see where he's stronger, where he's weaker, and wants to try and get around that number 56 machine and move his way, keep moving his way, rather, up towards the front of the pack.
Yeah, pretty eventful night for these drivers that you're seeing on your screen right now. Dave Cassidy having a great night. The 75 of Mike Alexander's falling back a little bit. There's Caden Tufts on your screen. But these 3 right here, Nicholas Noggle had his issues earlier on a couple laps ago, and now working his way back up and actually looking to the outside of Keith McClellan out of corner number 2. What an outside move for Nicholas Noggle. He's going to pick up a spot or 2 here.
Hey guys, not to interrupt the party there, but you're going to see some guys running out of fuel here soon.
Yeah, Keith McClellan on pit road. Among them, Mike Alexander's on pit road. So green flag pit stops, Paul. It's something that we don't usually see on a short track, but these guys are going to have to all take care of it unless they came down pit road earlier.
Yeah, just taking a look at pit road, you can see there's half a dozen cars down there. There's a few cars that are taking some tires as well. You can see Keith Mack there in the 30 Bud Light machine. He's got the right side jacked up. He's going to take some tires, and it's really tricky here, Tim, with these green flag pit stops on a short track, because you very well could lose a lap, and if the caution comes out while you're on pit road, you might be hosed for the rest of the night. That was Brent Roy, who apparently still has a key to the production trailer, just kind of butting his way in here. Owen Mahar as well, jumping in saying hello. So I want to thank those guys for doing their admin duties, but still seems to be Brett Suggs out front. We'll see if he's going to end up coming down pit road to make a pit stop. It doesn't look like he's pitted all night here, Tim.
Yeah, it looks like Ashton Tucker's going to come down onto pit road on this lap. Roger Down is leaving pit road. I can tell you by a race organization experience, drivers do not like pitting on a short track, or from the experience that we've had. Here comes the leader down into pit road, and you saw it there. Almost an accident coming onto pit road, but these drivers doing a great job. Gammon leaving pit road, Dave Cassidy leaving pit road, and your 2 leaders, the 2 teammates, going to pull into their box here near the end of pit road.
Yeah, that's one thing we definitely didn't see throughout practice here earlier on tonight, Tim, was practicing pit stops, entering and exiting pit road, and it's definitely something that is going to affect the outcome of this race. You see, the race's lead has been handed over to Nicholas Noggle currently, but again, still has to pit for fuel. The first car that's actually pitted here for fuel looks to be Travis Roma, the number 38 machine, pitted 62 laps ago. So he may very well have enough fuel to possibly make it to the end, but we're definitely going to have to see that as some of these drivers just getting tire service to these race cars. You can see there's Nicholas Noggle on pit road now. So Matthew Barkhouse is currently 4th. Travis Roma, man, there's this is going to be a calamity all over the place here, Tim.
Stanton Woolridge came onto pit road, and he had oh, we got a trouble in turn number 4. It's the 83, I believe, or the 3. He pulls in front of traffic. That's a caution. Not sure. I believe it's the 83 over there in turn number 4. It definitely is the 83. It's not the 3. Red cars, black cars are all the same at the end of the day, right, Paul? But that was your former leader, the Royal Bolts, number 83. And I was about to say that Stanton Woolridge came down onto pit road, but he had a slow car and Brad Hayes in front of him. I don't think that precipitated the yellow, but we'll see what happened here. Bring up that Rays Energy replay.
Yeah, we're taking a look at the 83 of Chris Roma has led most of this race here. You can see just closing in on the back bumper of Ashton Tucker there in the number 2 and just loses the back end all by himself. Tries to gather it, recorrects, and gets a little bit of a shot in the pants there. Comes across. Oh, Danny Vitch gets a shot, and Craig Tolley rather gets a shot as well. So pointed in the wrong direction at the entrance of pit road during green flag stops. Tim, this is going to be eventful. We have 5 drivers that have not come down pit road under green. Travis Roma, John Fitzpatrick, Stanton Woolridge, Matthew Barkhouse, and Ashton Tucker. And as we can see, it looks like the timing and scoring is correcting itself, and we're going to have some wave-by cars here. So going to take us a minute to figure out what in the world is going on with the timing and scoring, but that's definitely going to throw a monkey wrench into everybody's plans here, Tim.
Yeah, there was almost 2 incidents there. The 56 was coming onto pit road. Mentioned him and the slow car, but the 3 of Ronnie McKay and the 42 of Mark Williams come together just in front of the 83. I don't think it wasn't a connected incident, Paul, but if you're on the radio for the 83, you might have told your driver there's a car slow at a turn 4, and maybe that helped facilitate that incident, but the 3 of Ronnie McKay nearly inhaled himself into the pit barrels like we saw with Terry Duguay a couple of weeks ago at Rockingham. But just no harm, no foul. But it was the first maybe quarter of this incident that brings out the yellow flag. But definitely the 83 crossways in the middle of the racetrack was the reason for the yellow flag. And see what happens here with scoring. This is half the reason why a lot of these short trackers per se do not like the pitting under green, and now you're going to have 2 or 3 cars here that just came out right on your screen behind the pace car, and we'll see where they slot in. They definitely did not beat the pace car off of pit road to that line, so they're going to probably have to stop here and get in the line.
Well, they're going to have to start at the back of the tail end of the longest line for not beating that pace car as they were getting services to their race car. But they're also not going to receive the wave around because they came down and got service to those race cars. So we're going to take this restart, Tim. We're going to have 7 cars on the lead lap.
I believe it's going to be 8 because I think there's 1 wave around car, and actually Ashton Tucker was that 8th car because he was going to go 1 lap down. Lights are out, I believe, on top of the pace car. We might have 1 more lap of caution here to try to sort this thing all out. But Travis Roma, John Fitzpatrick, Matthew Barkhouse, Stanton Woolridge, Nicholas Noggle, Mike Alexander, Brett Suggs are the 7 that are scored on the lead lap. And for, I believe, Noggle, Alexander, and Suggs, they're going to have to start, I almost want to say tail end of the line because they got the wave around, and this has the potential of being a little bit messy, but these drivers have put on one hell of a show so far tonight. So we'll see how this all shakes out. Tough break for a guy like Keith McClellan, Dave Cassidy. Ashton Tucker scored his 1 lap down. Chris Roma, who led the opening 70-something laps of this race, 1 lap down now as well, or 2 laps down. Check that for the 83. So there's a lot of good cars that are a lap down.
A lot of good cars that are a lap down, and a lot of fast cars up front that are on a lead lap by themselves. You can see where the heck did he come from. John Fitzpatrick there on the outside pole, 78. He's been in the mid-pack towards the end of the race, or towards the earlier parts of the race, so he is going to find himself in the 2nd starting position. Lights are off in the iRacing Mustang pace car. There you can see Matthew Barkhouse, number 15. He started in the back, missed his qualifying attempt earlier on tonight. He's going to be restarting 3rd. Stanton Woolridge in the 4th position, and Nicholas Noggle there in the 08 is going to be starting 5th. Mike Alexander, Brett Suggs, Keith Mack, Dave Cassidy, Conrad Murphy rounding out the top 10. And I want to take another opportunity to thank everybody watching on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch, all that good stuff. And shout out to Nathan as well over there in the Facebook chat. Appreciate you watching. It looks like the lights are back on in the pace car. Going to take another lap to try and get this sorted out here. Timing and scoring just a little bit on the wonky side after some green flag pit stops and a caution coming out about 3/4 of the way through that, Tim.
Yeah, I think it's more of the positioning at the back. Your top 4 rows are where they should be. Everybody else is either a lapped car or a caution car, a free pass car, or a penalty car from pit road. So you're going to see a lot of cars single file, and that's why they are. Everybody else is where they should be. It is led by Travis Roma in the 38. They come up at a 4. Green flag back out, and Travis Roma spun the tires. We mentioned he did not, I don't think, came down pit road in that exchange because he was, he pitted earlier in this race. So we'll see how this all shakes out. There is the number 30, or check that 38, 78 side by side for the lead. And where did Matthew Barkhouse come from after missing his qualifying lap? He's currently running 3rd.
And you can see John Fitzpatrick hungry, trying to look at the bottom side of that 38 Roma machine, but he's going to get attacked on the outside. The 15 of Matthew Barkhouse moving on up into that second place position. You can see John Fitzpatrick going to give him he gives him a little bit of a shot ski. Oh, that's going to spin him around, put him up on the wall. The caution comes out, but I believe it's for an unrelated incident as, man, oh man, the 15 hard contact on the outside wall. And we'll see if we can pull up. There you can see he's still pointed in the wrong direction. Man, oh man, we'll see if we can find out what the caution itself actually came out there for, Tim.
And the caution was the 5 of Craig Tully. I believe he might have had contact from the 75 of Alexander. That was the caution. The 5 didn't get going. They waited a little bit. Then the yellow flag came out. And just as that contact was happening between the 15 and the 78, that's when the caution flag was triggered. So, tough break. But let's look at the 5 and the 75 first, Paul.
Yeah, there you can see a little bit of a tap ski there from the 75. It kind of sends the 5 up the racetrack. He does a good job holding on to it, keeps it out of the racing groove, and points it in the right direction, grabs the gear, and gets on rolling again. And we'll take a peek at, there you can see Mike Alexander driving around Matthew Barkhouse. We're going to back that up again and just take a quick peek at that because we saw that happen live on your screen. You can see Fitzpatrick down low, just kind of bounces off the apron a little bit and comes up into the door of the 15. 15 overcorrects and shoots that bad boy up onto the outside wall. Gets a couple of love taps here from some of the drivers behind him, but everybody else kind of parts the seas and really nowhere for him to go. It's going to be a tough row to hoe. Well, he's going to restart 8th because there's only 8 cars on the lead lap here, Tim.
Before you go from that replay, let's take a look back at that 5 of Craig Tully because you had a nice shot of the caution light in there, and I want to prove a point. Let's go back and take a look at where that 5 car does pull away. And that caution light illuminates compared to where the 15 and the 78 were on the racetrack. So the 5 is going to be rolling again right there. See where the green light is? You're going to roll a couple of frames forward, and that green light is going to change to caution. And then you take a look at where that 15 and the 78 were. So the 5 is rolling away. He's got it. Yellow flag right there. There's where the light changes right there. So the 15 and the 78 at that point right there are side by side. There's the contact already. So that incident had already started to happen when that other incident had pretty much, cleaned itself up per se. So a tough break for Matthew Barkhouse, but there's really nothing. They were still racing hard because, well, the caution flag wasn't out.
Yeah, one of those freak incidents, Tim, where everything just kind of happens at the same time. And luckily with the technology we got here with the iRacing service, we're able to pull that stuff up. And again, brought to you by Raise Energy. So check those guys out at repsports.com. Promo code VEINOTTE'S. Get yourself 15% off. And you can see everybody... looks like a couple of drivers making some wave-by attempts here. The lights are off already on the pace car. Side by side, 2x2. Travis Roma down low. John Fitzpatrick up top.
So 30 laps to go this time by for Travis Roma trying to hang on to this one. John Fitzpatrick to the outside. They get single file already. Keep an eye on Nicholas Noggle. I think he's the wild card in this one. To the outside, he knows his way around here. If he can get that thing wound up into the front of the field, I think it's going to be tough to beat Nicholas Noggle, but he's got the 56 of Tanton Woolridge to the inside, and here comes Brett Suggs. Suggs flashing the nose to the inside, goes to the outside. Nicholas Noggle going to pick up 3rd, and now chases down those top 2.
Still going to be the 38 of Travis Roma, Fitzpatrick up front, but there you can see getting a little bit of contact there. Noggle pushing the issue, trying to move up into that P2 position, trying to get around Fitzpatrick. So there you can see gives him another little bit of a door kiss trying to move up into that P2 position. Finally able to clear him just a little bit, but Fitzpatrick gives him the bumper, sends Noggle going. You can see Fitzpatrick hard on the brake, sends that car sideways. Going to lose a whole bunch of track position, but doesn't wreck that race car. Caution still comes out on the speedway.
We got two separate incidents at the back, Paul. One of them is Ashton Tucker, and the other one is Ronnie McKay.
Oh, they're still wrecking.
Yeah. That's a completely separate incident down there in turn number 2. Is that the 56 of Woolridge? He was running up in the top 5. So 3 separate, actually 4, because Danny Vitch was around, but a lap before that, no yellow. The first incident is the 3 of Ronnie McKay to bring out the yellow, and I think that precipitated the Ashton Tucker incident too. So pick your poison. There's the one in turn number 2 after the yellow, and Brad Hayes nearly grip rolls.
Yeah. Brad Hayes just giving everybody a quick little peek at his undercarriage, and you can tell everybody was kind of backing up for the caution. Gets a little bit of a shot there from the back of the race car, and we'll see if we can pull up, see who else was involved here.
Brad Hayes, by the way, is a classy gentleman, so it's nice to see he's giving everybody a look at the undercarriage.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened here in the iRacing world. You can see 42 of Mark Williams getting a little bit of a shot at that as well. What were the other incidents there, Tim?
The 3 and the 2, which is scored as the 32, and actually it's the same incident down the back straightaway that gets both of those cars crossed up. It starts with the 3 of Ronnie McKay and the 2 of Ashton Tucker making contact, and then it goes down into turn number 3, and the 2 ends up getting collected on the outside wall here.
So you can see it here. The 3 kind of touches the apron just a little bit, trying to move up, and gets a little bit of shot there from Ashton Tucker. Gets pointed in the wrong direction. We'll see if we can follow up with the Ashton Tucker machine as well.
Yeah, there's the 2 crossed up. Ashton Tucker, the 88 of Caden Tufts, and the 83 of Chris Roma go 3 wide past that incident. Ashton Tucker gets thrown up on the outside here. You'll see it on the Raise Energy replay. He and Ronnie McKay get together, kind of slows his momentum. Caden Tufts goes to the inside, says YOLO. 83 kind of gets him, and it puts the 2 in the wall. 38 Keith McClellan gets a little bit of the action as well. And the Brad Southercroft Motorsports number 2 car is a little toast down there in turn number 3. So that's probably, if it doesn't end the night of Ashton Tucker, it's going to put him a few laps down. Tough break for the driver that took the pole challenge earlier on this evening. And that's probably going to end his evening. But we're getting ready to go back to green flag competition. Less than 25 laps to go in the JPB Construction 150. And Travis Roma doing what he has to do up in front. But now he's got Tanton Woolridge on the outside. He's got Brett Suggs and Nicholas Noggle in row number 2. Green flag flies. And if I'm Travis Roma, I got to hit my marks for the rest of this race to try to take away this big win, because I've got some heavy hitters behind me.
You're absolutely right, and one thing to keep in mind here, Tim, it looks like we may very well be racing the clock. I'm looking at timing and scoring. 6 minutes, 20 seconds left in this session, so we may very well be racing the stopwatch. I don't know if we can get 20 laps in 6 laps, but we're definitely going to find out together. Travis Roma leading, Tanton Woolridge trying to look high there. You can see Brett Suggs moving in, as well as Noggle and McClellan. So these guys know it's go time. They know it's not going to pay as much to finish second as it is going to win here.
I'm showing an extra 45 minutes on the clock in the server, so your clock might be a little bit quick, but these drivers are racing like it's 6 minutes to go in this race. But battle for second. Here comes Brett Suggs. Flash that nose to the inside the last time by on Tanton Woolridge. Woolridge having a career run right now in position number 2. Travis Roma holding court up in front. Little bobble at the back. Everybody's still straight. Continues to be the 38 of Travis Roma. Woolridge gets a great run off at 4, though. Nothing doing with that number 38.
Still single file for the most part up in the front 10 cars or so. Brett Suggs in the wall just a little bit. That's going to open the door for Nicholas Noggle. Peeks on down low. Really nowhere to go because Tanton Woolridge has that spot right in front of him. He's trying to get around Travis Roma, but he's also trying to hold off the 33 and the 8 right behind them. Business is really starting to pick up here, Tim.
Business picking up at the front of the pack, and here comes Tanton Woolridge. Woolridge strong, gets into Roma and spins a 38. They save it up in front, and no, caught.
Caution flag comes up, but I believe everybody's pointing in the right direction, so just kind of gives everybody an opportunity to reset just a little bit. They can see Travis Roma still kind of heavy on the throttle. We'll see what happens. Nothing's going to happen. He's going to back her down and get ready for this restart, but we'll pull up the Raise Energy instant replay, and we'll show it to you one more time, and you can see just how crazy it's getting towards the end of the pack here. You can see on your screen, Tanton Woldridge in the 56 getting kind of racy. Gets into the back bumper, the 38, sends him on around, but man, some heads-up driving from that Roma machine, points her in the right direction, grabs a gear, and gets on going. Loses a couple of positions, but it looks like no harm, no foul. Tanton Woldridge going to be leading. Brett Suggs second, Nick Noggle third, Travis Roma fourth, and Keith McClellan in that fifth position.
I know what it feels like to throw a quick caution, especially with a move like that where the leader is broadside in front of the field. We saw that a little bit earlier, though. We saw that that move for about the top 5 positions that kind of shook up the top 5, but at that point the car wasn't sideways. It looks like there's no penalties being assessed. So I think everything is still going to be status quo up in front with Tanton Woolridge taking the lead. I thought Brett Suggs was going to go to the outside, pull that Hail Mary, and go to the top spot. But with the way the caution flew, Tanton Woolridge had the advantage, had that nose out in front, and now he leads this with going to be less than 15 laps remaining in this one. They'll come by this time with 13 laps to go.
13 laps to go. Not even going to call it a race of attrition. It's been some great racing here. New Smyrna Speedway here for the 3rd season, the RBR Maritime group. Guys putting on one heck of a show here. And it's usually one of those things, Tims, where the first race of the season is a little bit on the rough side, but you can definitely tell these guys have been putting their practice laps in. They've been on the simulation quite a bit. A lot of these drivers we recognize from the Tim's Corner Motorsports Weekly Series and the special events, getting ready for the big show here come springtime. But pretty good little race here so far.
Yeah, lots of green flag running at the start. Green flag pit stops kind of threw a wrench into it and kind of took out some of those bigger names that were running near the front of the field. But you have to be on your toes, and you have to know going in how much the setup will hold. They are running fixed setups, but not sure what setup they are running, because with iRacing adding new setups to this car this season, I believe there's 3 different fixed setups for New Smyrna now. So, but nevertheless, that's on the car to know how much fuel is, or the driver to know how much fuel is in that race car. It's been a very exciting race. We're going to come by this time, take the green flag, and have 11 laps to go. Tanton Woolridge trying to pull off the victory with Brett Suggs, Nicholas Noggle, Travis Roma, Keith McClellan. Your top 5. Great start for Woolridge. Green flag is out.
Exactly what he needed to do there in the 56 machine, because the battle looks like it's going to be for that 5th position. Daddy Mac down low. Magic Mike up high. Magic Mike Alexander, the 75, outbreaks Keith McClellan in a big way, but it still has to back up just a little bit. A gaggle of really fast cars. There you can see John Fitzpatrick with the 78. Oh, Nick Noggle sideways down in the apron. Oh, going to collect a whole bunch of cars. Daddy Mac is still, he's almost pointing in the right direction. No, we're stacking them up. We're stacking them up. Caution flag comes out. Holy moly.
Yeah, that was tough. It started with Nicholas Noggle getting a little sideways on the front straightaway, and it ended in turn number 2-ish. We'll see the replay here. And Paul, I believe we lost a couple of drivers due to the incident cap. There's a 25-point cap. With us being in the server, we can't see how many incident points they have. I think we lost a couple there through that. What happened with Noggle?
Well, you can see right now Noggle running 3rd behind Suggs in front of Roma. You can see Suggs gets right in the back bumper. That is bizarre. Noggle almost lost him in the front stretch by himself. You can see him coming out of turn number 4. The car. Okay, yeah, the back end of the race car very, very much pointed in the wrong direction. He tries to jump back up into the racing groove, but unfortunately Keith McClellan was there in that machine. You can see Nicholas Noggle has actually been has retired from this race, so that may very well have been part of the incident cap there. But we'll back it up one more time, take a look. There's a whole bunch of cars involved in this wreck. You can see Daddy Mac gets a piece of it. He gets sent around. John Fitzpatrick, Matthew Barkhouse, Conrad Murphy, Rod Downs, the 17, Tufts, and the 88. Craig Tully muscles his way through that, gains a bunch of positions. There you can see Mark Williams in the 42. So lots of fast drivers here. Excuse me. Lots of fast drivers here, Tim, getting caught up in this late race caution. But looks like we're going to be restarting with about 6 laps to go. Check that, maybe 5.
Yeah, a lot of chatter in the race server. Noggle was actually removed from the race from race control. So a little chatter going on in the server following that move by race officials. So we'll see what happens. It's not like Noggle to make a mistake like that. It almost looked like he got on the throttle a little too quick coming out of 4, but it almost leads me to believe there was some sort of hardware failure or something there, because it's a weird place to lose that race car, but who knows, might have been damaged from earlier. Regardless, the 08 car is done for the evening. We are going to restart with 5 laps to go, and Tanton Woolridge, the driver from Summerside PEI, trying to send a statement and win his first race of the season, and a big one it would be in this RBR Maritime opener. Pace car is going to pull off the McKenna Brothers Service Center number 56, and actually next time by, I believe the lights are still on the pace car. What am I talking about? I have no idea.
Yeah, the lights are... There they go. You must do... Nope, back on. Just kidding.
Yeah. So it looks like we're going to be 4 laps to go. So it's gonna give us a couple of less laps to get this thing done. For Tanton Woolridge, if you're Tanton Woolridge, you love it. You get a good start. You can get ahead of Brett Suggs. That's great. Brett Suggs, though, has been pressuring Tanton Woolridge on these restarts. So this is... I don't know who this plays into the hands of more. If you're Tanton Woolridge, you get a good start. That's great. If you're Brett Suggs, you got less time to work on the leader.
You're exactly right, and temper's flaring, it looks like, in the big red trailer, so to speak, but the lights are off of the iRacing pace car, and we're going to wait to see these drivers take it one more time to the restart. And man, oh man, action and business are starting to pick up. Going to be great to see what these drivers can do in the final 3 laps here at New Smyrna Speedway. And the very first race here for the RBR Maritime Season 3, the JPB Construction 150 getting ready to close out here. The pace car is going to make that hard left-hand turn down pit road. Tanton Woolridge, Brett Suggs going to do battle side by side across the stripe, heading into turn number 1, no advantage. And you can see Tanton Woolridge trying to make a little bit of ground on the inside, but Brett Suggs holding tough on the outside.
If you're Tanton Woolridge, you might have to use him up a little bit on the outside. Great restart by Brett Suggs. Look at that. Up the racetrack they go at a 4. Suggs in the fence. And here comes the 38 Roma. We're wrecking at a turn number 4. And that's going to bring us a green-white checker finish. We got about 10 cars that are stacked up against the fence in turn number 4. And they're still wrecking and doing burnouts and what have you.
Temper starting to rage here towards the end of this race, and heard from Craig Tully, the boss man himself. We got 3 attempts at a green-white checkered, and we may very well use them all up here tonight, Tim. But going to take a peek at the Raze Energy Instant Replay one mo again, find out exactly what went down. You can see the 3 is on your screen. I believe he was involved as well, so we'll take a look, and we can see 19 gets into Craig Tully a little bit, gets into him again, sends him on around. The 3, the 89, they get collected as well. The 42 gets by. The couple of other cars gets a quick little shot. You can see the 3 kind of pointing around, as does Connor Murphy. Moves him in to pointing in the right direction, or Conrad Murphy there in the 89 machine. So tough break for some of these guys in the middle of the pack. Looks like we got 9 cars, maybe 10 cars on the lead lap here with the wave by.
So that'll be Tanton Woolridge, Travis Roma, Brett Suggs, Matthew Barkhouse, Mike Alexander, Dave Cassidy, Kyle Gammon, John Fitzpatrick, Keith McClellan scored as your top 9 that are on the lead lap on what will be the first attempt at a green-white checker finish to this JPB Construction 150. And Tanton Woolridge kind of ran the 33 of Suggs a little wide at a turn number 4, coming to what would be 2 laps to go before that caution flag flew. But the nature of this racetrack, Paul, you almost kind of have to use him up a little bit, especially if you're on that inside line to protect that outside line run. But now Travis Roma is going to have that outside line. We'll see what kind of restart he can get. Brett Suggs going to start in behind Tanton Woolridge, so you better believe if Woolridge is sleeping here, Suggs is going to be all over him.
Absolutely, and there's still some powerhouses left in while on the lead lap. You can see Matthew Barkhouse going to be restarting 4th, Mike Alexander 5th, Dave Cassidy in the 13. He's going to be restarting 6th. 98, Kyle Gammon 7th. John Fitzpatrick, the number 78, he's restarting 8th. Keith McClellan 9th, and Roger Down is the first car, 1 lap down in 10th. So really at this point with everything we've seen, Tim, this could be really anybody's race up there in the top 9 drivers.
Yeah, this is anybody's race, especially if somebody makes one small little misstep or makes a mistake. This is going to be a pretty interesting restart. These drivers are going to have to be on it to win the first race of the season. 6 races, 1 drop race in here, so Tanton Woolridge trying to get the upper hand. How about Dave Cassidy? Great run for the 13 car in the top 10, currently sitting in position number 6 as we get ready to let these drivers loose. Got a couple more laps before we see the green flag fly, but John Fitzpatrick's had an up-and-down night. He's on the lead lap in position number 8. Keith McClellan has been up near the front of the field for most of this night, but still sitting in position number 9. He's a little worse for wear right now, but we have 3 attempts at a green-white checker. Anything can happen here.
Yeah, kind of looking like a crunkled-up Bud Light can all the way around that race car. There's some damage, but going to be restarting the last car on the lead lap. There you can see everybody line them up 2 by 2. The lights are still on in the pace car.
Live, green flag.
Wrong button, green flag. Tanton Woolridge. So battle for second. Travis Roma, Brett Suggs. Brett Suggs down low. Roma up high. 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks in the air. Coming to the white. There you can see a big wiggle from the number 15, Matthew Barkhouse. But looks like Tanton Woolridge going to try and hold him off for the win here, Tim.
Yeah, the field got to the white flag, so we'll race back to the checkered. This car slow on the back, but it's not going to matter for Tanton Woolridge. Working through 3 and 4, the McKinnon Brothers Service Center 56 comes up as the winner of race number 1 for the Roma Brothers Racing Maritime iRacing League. The JPB Construction 150 goes to the driver from Summerside, PEI. Brett Suggs, Travis Roma hangs on for 3rd. Matthew Barkhouse and Dave Cassidy top 5, and you look back through the field, the top 10, Alexander, Gammon, Fitzpatrick, McClellan, and Roger Down. Great run for a top 10 effort, but exciting race at the end there, Paul. But how about Tanton Woolridge? He's come close a couple of times, started at the back of the field tonight, going to come home with a big win.
Seeing him burning the tires down there as we go through the rest of the field. Conrad Murphy finishes 11th. Derek Gates on number 19 comes home 12th. These drivers currently a lap or more down. Craig Tully, the boss man, 13th. Caden Tufts, Danny Vitch, Mark Williams, Nathan Blackburn, Chris Roma, Ronald McKay, Nicholas Mott rounding out the top 20 and rounding out the field. There you can see Taylor Layton, strong earlier on, but tough break, 5 laps down in the 27 machine. He finishes 21st. Nicholas Noggle, who was removed from the race, he finished 22nd. Brad Hayes, Ashton Tucker, Lewis Mason, Mike Rhino, Wade Craswell, the 27 cars to make up the field here. Owen Mahar helping out with the admin duties, the race official duties, and Todd Cousins, I believe he missed the start here, but Tanton Woolridge with a very strong run, started 12th, finished P1. We're going to talk to the top 3 here as we get everything rounded up. It actually looks like you may very well have caught up with that winner, Tanton Woolridge, Tim.
Yeah, see if we can't catch up with Tanton Woolridge, our winner. Tanton, let's talk about those restarts, because those seem to be the ticket at the end. What was going through your mind coming to a green-white checker?
Honestly, I don't know. I've never really been in that position before to take a win at that strength of field. So it was definitely nerve-wracking trying to hold off Brett. I'm not sure if he's up 2 or 4, but he was flying at the end. Just tried to limit the mistakes. I made a few, getting up into him, getting up into Travis, but at the end, I was just trying to keep calm and see if we could get it done.
You've been in these situations many times in your real race car, coming to restarts and trying to hold off drivers for the win. But this is one of the first big wins that we've seen from you on Vidane TV on the sim side. So what's more nerve-wracking, sitting in the real car with a restart with 2 laps to go, or sitting in here trying to hold off Brett Suggs, Travis Roma, and all these other drivers that you see at the real racetrack from time to time?
Yeah, in the real life, it's definitely going to be different. I mean, there's a little bit more at stake, but, trying to hold off guys like Brett Suggs, Mike Alexander, I mean, those guys, the I rating that they have, the places that they've gone in real life. I mean, you see Brett, he's running, I think it's like super trucks or something. Guys that had to run real super late models. So to be able to compete with them, have a Bando guy running with them is amazing, and it's an amazing feeling.
You've been doing a lot of official stuff here on the sim, but Is this the biggest win that you have in your sim racing career so far?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. This is the biggest to date. Definitely gonna try and get some more, but we'll just keep working at it, keep grinding, and we'll see what happens.
You started at the back, came to the front, beautiful finish at the end, and a nice looking race car out here as well. Who makes it happen for the 56 team?
Yeah, thank you. I gotta thank Caden Duffs. I mean, that kid, he does everything for me. Paints, backgrounds, spotting. I mean, he spotted me every race in the Oxford Series. Big thanks to Dark Moon Motorsports. They're on the hood of this car. Mom, Dad, my grandfather, he done a ton to get me to this spot in sim racing. And big thanks to all my real life sponsors as well.
Tanton Woolridge winner here tonight in the JPB Construction 150, the season opener. Congratulations, Tanton.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks to you guys up in the booth there and stuff for putting this on.
Paul, a happy, excited winner. Big win for the 56 team, but I believe you've caught up with our second place finisher, the 33 of Brett Suggs. Came close at the end. We'll get a hold of him, see what he's thinking.
Yeah, for sure. Down here with Brett Suggs, the number 33 machine. Close but no cigar, but still a very strong podium finish. Started sixth, finished second. Brett, walk us through your race.
Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, it was an up and down race. Qualified just outside the top 5, so wasn't able to take that back row bonus, which, as you could see tonight, I mean, it didn't really matter where you started. It just mattered where you finished. Just get through the carnage, but kept the car clean. I don't think I had any contact points, even down to the checkered flag. So, I mean, that's just how I race. I've had any opportunity to take out Tanton, but I respect him a ton and pretty proud of how far he's come along in his sim racing career, and happy to see him take home a victory. So props to him, but nonetheless, great race, good for points, and we'll go on to next week and see if we can get at it again.
You almost took the words right out of my mouth. Great points day, finishing second here. Led a handful of laps, so there's got to be some bonus points in there as well. And I believe we're at Lanier next week, if my notes are correct. Have you got anything for him at the next track?
Yeah, I'm not too sure about Lanier. I mean, I've ran a couple races there, but not really enough to feel like I'm that competitive. So I'll see what I can do here in practice, work with the RBR boys, and hopefully, put together a better qualifying position, and then, maybe lead some more laps. I mean, it was pretty cool leading 29 laps there in the race, but definitely not the most important one at the end, and that's all that matters when it gets down to the end of this thing. But we'll see what we can do next week and maybe cap off a victory.
And we can see right there on the quarter panel the number 33, as well as the sponsor of the Pole Award, the Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing banner. Give us a little bit of rundown on that. What's that all about?
Yeah, so I started this business a couple years ago, and it's mainly supporting my real racing program. But on a smaller scale, I do driver videos and just helping some drivers with some of their promotions as well. So would like to take that to a further step down the line, but for now it's just promoting some of these races, promoting my racing, and always happy to lend a hand here to the iRacing deal as well.
For sure, and definitely lended me a hand, painted me up some beautiful paint schemes. Well, same paint scheme, couple of different cars, the truck and the Super Late and the Tour Mod. Definitely appreciated some good-looking race cars that come out of the BSRM stable there. But it's obviously you don't do this alone. It's tough to do a team sport by yourself. So who makes it happen for the number 33 machine?
Absolutely. Want to thank everybody that tuned into the stream tonight. We had some new follows, which is always great, and they saw just one heck of a battle there at the end. Also, shout out to the RBR guys. We've put in a decent amount of practice, and it was awesome to see Chris lead so many laps and Travis up front. We had 2 cars inside the top 3, so always a good day when we can get these guys up there, as well as real-life sponsors of the Custom Matco, Brett Suggs Racing Marketing, Lake Norman Power Cleaning, everybody that puts this deal together, just making it go around. We're trying to put the truck together for this coming season, but we're still looking for some partners. So if anybody out there would like to join a competitive team, message me on Facebook. We'll get you set up.
Absolutely, and a great run here for the P2 finisher, Brett Suggs, the number 33 machine. Congratulations on a great run.
Thank you.
Tim, P3, Travis Roma, I believe you caught up with him a little bit further down pit road.
Yeah, the 38 car was up front for a little while tonight, led a few laps, finished in position number 3. Travis, when we had green flag pit stops and all of a sudden a caution comes out, it's almost like musical chairs, everybody's moving around. You ended up in the lead. What was going through your mind when you saw that caution flag come out?
Oh man, I was just hoping for it to come out. We had like a mediocre car in qualifying, and on that little long run we had at the beginning, I was kind of hoping just to fall into the top 10. And then things went south, got turned, and got put to the back, and had another little green flag run there, and was just kind of hoping to dip back into maybe the top 15. Kind of had my sights on maybe 12th or 13th. And then I had taken fuel when I was trying to repair damage under multiple stops. Not quite enough. I still had to go take fuel under one yellow, but I needed tires anyway. But when I heard the guys saying they were running out of fuel, I knew it was going to put us in a good position. And then I was just hoping for a caution to come out so that I could top up too and stay on the lead lap. So everything worked out good. And I was just protecting the bottom there, and Tanton was obviously a little quicker. And we got a little out of shape there and fell back to the 4th spot. And so I'm just super happy to finish where we finished.
I have a feeling from being at Scotia Speed World, I know the answer to this question. You don't points race, but there's 6 races in this series. You're going to come out of this 3rd after tonight. Any thoughts on a championship with only 6 races in this season?
We're just going to go race to race because I'm sure we're going to have a bad race. Well, maybe probably a few, the way our luck goes. But we're just going to go race for race and just see where we end up.
Is there a race you're looking forward to of the next 5 that we can put this thing into victory lane?
Probably anywhere except for here. I couldn't get the thing to rotate pretty much every practice, and coming in late to practice tonight. So I'll be happy to see anywhere but here.
So if you finish 3rd here at a racetrack you don't like, we should park this thing a couple of times before the end of the season in victory lane, right?
Well, that's what we're hoping, but there was a lot of luck getting a 3rd place finish, even though we had a good run with Brett there at the end, and but I would say I didn't finish where the car should have been at, but I'm happy for a 3rd place.
Who do you got in this race car? Who's on the team that helps you get to this 3rd place finish tonight?
Just all the RBR guys. Just can't thank them enough. I'm always in their ear, asking questions and stuff, and it was great to see 2 of us come home in the top 3. I know Chris had a hell of a car there, and he just got some bad luck, so he would have been, I think, one of the ones to beat tonight. But yeah, congrats to all the rest of the guys. Congrats to Tanton. Congrats to Brett. And thanks to Owen and Brent. They do a wicked job. And you guys put on the broadcast.
Now, usually after a podium finish with the late model sportsman, you guys have a couple of cold ones, but it's a work day tomorrow. So how much celebrating are you going to do tonight?
Well, I'm about 4 deep now. So maybe we'll have a couple more before we go to sleep. This Tuesday night racing thing, it should be a Friday night racing thing, I think.
I wouldn't expect any different. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
That's Travis Roma, P3 here this evening. And Paul, a great show. Lots of green flag racing, exciting finish at the end. Looking forward to round number 2 coming up next week. But we got some exciting racing to come here, and it starts again tomorrow night. Double header. We're going to lead off with the Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing 75 for the Oxford TCM Weekly iRacing Series. Got some TCM races coming up this weekend as well. NEPs at the end of the week. It's a pretty jam-packed week we got coming up.
Jam-packed week is a jam-packed first half of the 2021 season. Holy moly, have we got some racing action coming to you. You made mention the Oxford Plains Weekly Racing Series. Tim's Corner Motorsports kicks off tomorrow night. Showtime Cup Series right afterwards. And the NEPS Grand National Series leaving the country going to Japan Thursday night for the Twin Montegi, I think is the name of the racetrack. That's going to be very exciting there. 8:15 start on a Thursday. Friday, the Super Truck Series returns. That's going to be a 9:15 start. Saturday night, the Sim 500 Verdane Super Speedway Series, trying to basically set the championship field and see who's going to come home with the championship belt and the free rental from the Rent a Race Car Cat. See who's going to be driving one of those street stocks over at Stafford Motor Speedway. And a little bit of Tim's Corner Motorsports action. We're going to be adding all that stuff to the schedule here momentarily. I believe we're racing Saturday, Sunday, Mondays, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yeah, we're going to race Saturday night. early evening with the street stocks. We're going to pull out the street stocks for the first time this season. Going to go 150 at Nashville Mini Oval. Had an opportunity to test that a couple of nights ago. It's a fun little combination. If you've never driven it before and you want to drive it with the TCM crew Saturday evening, got nothing to do, come on out and join us. And then Sunday and Monday is what we're calling the mid-season classic. It's our last open late model show prior to taking a little break for the TCM crew in February. So Sunday night is our open qualifier, and then Monday is the classic open to drivers that have made 25 or more starts. And if you aren't in that group, you get to qualify on Sunday night for the Monday show. All the information at timscorner.ca and on the Facebook page. And then we come back, I believe, the next week with RBR, race number 2 on Tuesday, and then the TCM Oxford Championship Highway 311 North River Market 200. So lots of short track racing action. You're going to have no shortage of it coming up here. But I guess it's almost time, Paul, to load it up and get ready to head to Oxford tomorrow night.
Yeah, we're going to head off to Oxford Plains Speedway, JPB Construction 150 in the books here at New Smyrna. Great race here for the return of the RBR Maritime Group, season number 3, right here on Vidane TV. And if you want to take a quick little peek at the upcoming events, take a look at vidane.net, click on the schedule, and you'll see just what the heck it is we're talking about. We're booked solid throughout the month of May, at least 4 races a week. So very excited for that. Very, very thankful to be working through this pandemic together and entertaining the masses. But that's going to do it here for tonight for the RBR Maritime Group. For myself, Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr., for Tim's Corner Motorsports' very own Tim Terry. We're going to probably grab a couple more cold beers and head on over to Twitch. Take a look at twitch.tv/JON84Adams, John84 Adams. It actually looks like Alyssa's driving the trucks, so that's going to be entertaining. I'm going to go check that out myself. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good night.